everyone, welcome to another video on the JayBee
Hey.
and Milly channel. Today I'm going to be catching up with Velma. Now, I know JayBee, you've reached the end of the series and I'm sure many of you watching have as well, so I could
I
just
wouldn't
be
bank on
throwing kind of
that.
like some wild ideas out here and you all know that I'm just completely wrong, but we're going to see me working my way up to the finale of Velma. I'm expecting to find out a little bit more at this point about like her mum, the disappearance there, and hopefully to start seeing some resolution of why people are getting their heads chopped off as well, because that seemed to have happened right at the start and we've not picked up on that since. So I guess that set my expectations for this episode already, and we hope you enjoy.
Yeah, like Millie's in a unique situation where she's too busy for social media, so it's
Yeah.
not even that there's any risk of spoilers. It is quite simply completely fresh reaction. But if you're watching this and you're more of a fan of traditional Scooby-Doo content, please make sure to subscribe because we do weekly interviews with people that have worked on Scooby-Doo, all the way back from 1969, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You, to the most recent movie, Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. And it's our 75th interview special coming up next week, and it's a big banger. So trust me, if you even care about Scooby-Doo a teeny tiny bit, you're gonna love it because it's like universally awesome. Like even if I never picked up Scooby-Doo again and I saw that video I dropped on another channel, I'd be like, yeah, I need to watch that. So do keep an eye out for that. And like Millie said, we'll continue with the reaction.
Okay, what's that?
Oh God.
Come on, after how bad this is, you can't be scared of a spider.
Oh no, I can't deal with them. It's my number one weakness. Apart from Daphne.
I think they could have done more while they were in the lab. Do you know what I mean? It's in someone's house. You don't know you're ever going to get to go in there again. I don't know why they've started kind of outside of that. I'm surprised you managed to watch that. When it does that blood thing at the titles at the start of you have to turn away.
Yeah, but that's real, well, hyper realistic blood, right?
I was gonna say the top of the head wasn't missing.
Oh no, that's kind of getting me.
Okay, I'm a law student and even I can't appreciate the joke they're trying to make with that litigation t-shirt.
What happened to curfew? It was working. Curfew is over because it's not a serial killer.
Did you like you were a law
I don't
student
even,
too?
I slept through law school. I don't know what litigation is. Oh, she has to stop squirting for real.
Wait, girls have to have a date? Great. So Fogfest is not only dangerous, it's sexist too.
Can't say it's sexist. No one was saying that she couldn't bring another girl.
You know what? That's actually a legit point because
Safety
yeah.
in
So if
numbers, not that you
anything,
have to have a man with
she's
you.
being
Yeah,
homophobic
if
by
anything, it's her.
But most of all, I owe the honor of winning
ah.
to my Fog Queen.
Just saying.
I like that.
Blech.
To be fair, that was hella guys after the 2002 movie.
Like assholes, Fred. Like assholes.
I mean, I'm gonna say this show's made quite a few of them look like.
Circus. No, he's got Riz.
I like these two.
He's got Riz.
Mainly because of how much it's upsetting Velma, to be honest.
Only to realize it's just someone you know holding something weird. You even like how things can somehow farcically switch places in the fog.
The silhouette was that Captain Pirate thing,
I
right?
couldn't identify it. It had the hunch of the creeper,
No.
but it reminded me more of, you know, one of the Leland brothers from What's New, the two brothers that were like the Confederate soldiers.
It reminds me of what's the one where they're on a boat in the fog and there's like a sea captain.
The What's New?
Possibly.
The lighthouse,
Yes,
yeah.
the lighthouse one.
Yeah,
That's,
you know what?
that's what it reminded me of. 1,000,000% that one.
I like
Do you
that.
see what I'm saying?
Maybe I should retroactively include that.
Wait, you said Fog King, not Fog. In that case, I will happily go with you, Fred.
Yes. But
That didn't even sound the same.
I think the same when people try and make the Wayne King joke.
Pinky's mean.
Well, we're off to
That's
Fogfest.
Wayne King.
It's a ghost. You know what? I'm not gonna let you ruin my fun.
They needed these people in the Zombie Island sequel. It's a ghost.
Love Daphne's hair there.
Damn it, he hung up.
What did you think they were gonna do?
It's kind of sad. She looks like me going to sixth floor, but without the mustache. It's true, actually. It was a big thing back in the day at my school.
Who is that tasty snack?
So Daphne would have been into me at high school. don't even. You know what I mean?
All credit to the animation here. I think they've transformed Velma well, and I think Daphne looks stunning. Like,
Aw.
done so well.
I'd like to speak to the character designers, you know, because I want to see like the model sheets of all of them.
Oh, is that flower on his suit a call to the mystery
Yeah,
machine?
yeah. But I think it first is on Welker's jacket, but I missed it the first time.
That dress would have been a better one for Daphne. Oh, she's disgusting.
She is a full-on minger. You know what's kind of mad about like US culture? Is it was a massive point of outrage that they had high school kids drinking. And I know it's not great, it's illegal, but just thinking about the amount of 14-year-olds in the UK just drinking in the park, it's like, it's pretty standard here.
Oh, this is annoying. They're doing, you know how I was like, oh, the last one was the best one? They're kind of doing it wrong again. Like, the last episode was all about the mystery, and it was like, that's why it was good. This one so far has been absolute rubbish, but they've given zero consideration really to any semblance of mystery. It's purely just character development for characters I don't like.
Very fillery, but I guess I appreciated at the time the different setting, you know what I mean? The fact that it wasn't just school drama.
Yeah,
Thank you.
first thing the show's got right.
I'm mad at myself for letting
I'm mad at the directors of this show.
No, Daphne could have taken it with a knife. I'd be so tempted to try if I was getting chased, you know, for the culture. It's the credits. Do you think there's going to be a post-credit scene or what now? Tell me.
Oh! Okay, the last mirror was interesting.
Okay. So, Milly, it's about that time. Let's get perked up. Let's get excited.
It's hard. This show makes me feel so tired, you know?
Genuinely.
Like, I genuinely feel exhausted. Like, I'm gonna yawn.
Do you not feel like pumped up?
No, it was a terrible episode again. Like, whatever progress they'd made last time, they've just undone in one episode.
So what mistakes do you think that they made? What was the core problem with this particular
Okay,
episode?
the core problem's not enough mystery.
Not enough mystery. Or did it...
Other than, like, huge character issues, huge just bad jokes. Like, there's so many issues, but putting all that aside, as we saw last episode, I think personally, it could be recovered with the mystery. But this was just, however long this was, of following around character plots that I quite frankly couldn't care less about. I don't care what happens between Velma and Daphne. I don't. It's irrelevant. And I think kind of like hypocritical in a way. It's kind of like they're trying far too hard to kind of fit with this like thing of, oh my gosh, we can like show like an LGBTQ plus side of this thing without actually fully appreciating it. Like, I'd say that doesn't run through its heart at all. The fact that it's, you know, that line where it's like, oh, you have to bring a date, and Mum was like, can't go. It's like,
it's so weird. People...
It's like they wanted to include it, but it isn't actually a core value enough. They just wanted to get the points of, yes, we did it. Velma and Daphne kissed, yay! As opposed to actually having any semblance of actual wanting awareness for LGBTQ. It's been done for entirely the wrong reasons. It's not at its epicenter at all. There isn't a set of core values there they're trying to stick to. And I think that one line kind of illustrated that they're doing it, A, for the shock factor of the purists, and B, to show, I don't like the use of this word, but like trying to like be like, oh, we introduced a woke new Velma. It's like, no, you've done it all wrong.
Do people say that this show is woke? But I kind of feel like it's almost anti-woke in many ways. Like you said, with her not even considering the fact that LGBTQ plus relationships exist. The fact that when she was part of a traditional nuclear family, she was clever, smart Velma, and then the second she's in like a single parent family, she then crumbles to pieces and just becomes annoying. Like it's very pro-establishment and actually almost anti-woke by its own merits.
They're doing tick boxes, okay? They wanted to do the LGBTQ thing. They're like, oh, tick. But there is no follow-up on that. Like I said, they could have done with this date thing. Not only that, but like, I'm probably going to get slated for this now, but it is what it is. Like, they wanted to do a Velma that's a person of colour, right? Other than the animation, what have they done to develop that? Like, there's no, like, form of culture that's been picked up on. There's no form of, like, parental heritage that's been picked up on. It's just, okay, we got them to appear the way that we wanted them to. Tick.
Yeah, same with Scoob, actually. They made her, like, I think the correct term's Latina in Scoob, and all they did with it is have her say one word in Spanish, which is it's something, but even then, like, it's more than they've done.
I think that this is the most superficial piece of crap you've ever seen.
It's like, not good representation
at all.
I thought that I actually wanted it to go fully into the stereotypes, just for the fact that it would be the easiest way to examine some of the issues that first generation, second generation immigrants have. Like, if you make Fred's or Velma's dad this really strict Indian dad that imposes on the daughter, oh, I came to this country to make a good living, you need to get the best grades, you need to get this, whatever, like, make it stereotypical, but then give that a reason for Velma to either be a super genius or know how to fake being a super genius really well. That could factor into her stress, her character. But instead, the only thing we got is, and I did appreciate this joke in a way, but when they tried to call out Velma's full name, it was just Velma, some Indian middle name, Dinkley. But yeah, I think they could have done better.
Like, make it more relevant than that. Well, what point, unless I'm missing something, have we established that she was from India?
Never. It's just that I think that's the only piece of dialogue that's ever even hinted at it. Which is so weird because they mention a lot of like stereotypical white people tropes, like, oh, that's such a white person thing to do. But never once is there even a hint leaning into, well, what do brown people do? What's the heart of that? Even if they want to promote it in a good way, they've not even done that, which is crazy. Because I'm very anti-purist, I wouldn't mind if they made Scooby-Doo a cat, if they made Fred a lesbian in a wheelchair, if they made Daphne Jabba the Hutt, right? I don't mind any of that. But they should make it good. That's the thing. Just make it good.
It's superficial. They clearly don't mean anything by what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm gonna get hated for this as well. Like you said something once. I can't remember what had happened. But your sister just did a post once to say that she supported something on social media because it looked good on social media. But you also said, in reality, that's skin deep because I know them and they've never done anything actively acting out in support of that thing. And I can't remember what it was.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was because, I guess for content of the audience, she's trust fund daughter, right? Imagine someone's favorite daughter. That's
bought
her.
A business. All that
So she was bought, and I think it was she hired a LGBTQ plus lesbian woman, and I think for Pride Month they got
she
hold
just
up
used her to like
on like for Instagram, an Instagram photo shoot.
And can it just be said she was also fired like a week after?
Yeah.
And it was
okay,
so that's what your sister did.
So crazy.
And you were like, it's skin deep. Do you know what I mean? It looked good on the day, and then she's gone now. And then this show is just so like that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They got the promotion. I've been like, hey, look, the first like Velma of color. Here's the promotions for everybody. Look at this. And as soon as they'd done the animation for it, that's as far as it went. They just wanted that image of we did this. So you get the image that's like you know, the Velma of colour, you get the image of Velma and Daphne kissing, and they see that as tick, tick. We've done our bit for, like, you know, bringing things forward, and it's like, you really haven't, not even for a minute.
But I'm impressed at least that we've had some good representation recently. Like Coco, Diablo, and Velma, that wasn't perfect. There were a lot of issues with that. Maybe it was too centric and it took away from Velma a bit. But I think that whole encompass, she was trying to be someone different at the start and then realized that she had more success when she was just being herself with Coco. And when you think that wasn't a thing that could be exclusive to that type of relationship, but I think the fact that they used that type of relationship to tell a universal story is, I think, the best part. And if they didn't want to lean into stuff like stereotypes here, they could have at least used those relationships to tell a good story or a good message, which I guess they don't need to do because it's technically adult animation. And what adult's gonna watch something and the motive at the end is just be yourself. So it doesn't need to do that. But
You
something.
see, the only people seeing this are adults, because there is going to be multiple children who stumble upon this thinking it's Scooby-Doo.
True. But I guess I'll say by that logic, anyone can access anything on the internet. And if you're making something adult animation, I don't think they should consider a children watch, even if it's because there's other versions of Scooby-Doo that a child could find by typing in Scooby-Doo something. And I wouldn't expect the filmmakers of those types of products to go, let's show less because a child could Google Scooby-Doo. So it's dicey. They should be more parental locks on HBO Max for sure. But yeah.
Okay, well, ultimately, summary of this episode and what I was getting at with all that kind of rant is this episode was purely character-centric. And unless you have some very strong characters, you can't have a character-centric episode with zero plot development,
Or
which
make
for
it
me
earlier.
is exactly what this is. No,
I
regardless, you can't do
know.
that.
I think
Even
it
if
would
it's
have
the
been
first
better.
episode establishing relationships, you need to get some form of story in there, especially when the characters are as pitiful as these ones. Like, genuinely, that's what it is. Fred's a spoiled little brat, genuinely worst person on planet Earth, other than Velma.
Yeah.
Actually, they're quite well matched, funnily enough. Shaggy is, I keep calling him Shaggy. Norville is probably my favorite of the characters, because do you know what? Like, it's relatable. It's the most realistic one. Being friends with Velma would put mental strain, or at least this adaptation would put mental strain on anybody. So it's natural, his character, that it's this poor damaged boy who this girl's trying to build him back together. If anything, that's the only realistic one. And Daphne, I kind of don't know where to start with them.
I like her voice a lot, you know. I
And
like all of their apart from Norval, who is a good character within, not a good character, but his voice is good in and of its own right. But there were some times when Fred was talking in this episode that I kind of heard a bit of classic Fred in there. I think with the right training, all of them, except for maybe Norval, eventually in an Elseworld universe, say if there was a culling of voice actors tomorrow, could theoretically step in. Because Mindy Kaling, I prefer her voice to Kate Micucci, you know, not her writing, not her personality, but voice alone.
I disagree.
I don't know.
I hate it.
I don't know.
I completely disagree. I think her voice has been tainted by this. Like, I don't think I could see her as Velma and not think back to this and just, yeah.
Does that mean you're not going to be watching The Office with me anytime soon?
It does indeed.
Oh, that's a shame. But yeah, let's wrap it up, because I guess this video is going to be quite long now. But it's good. I personally, I wish that we reacted to this live together in a way, because I didn't mind that episode. I thought it was such a bad placement. Like, you know, Daredevil, it's what I compared it to. You know, Daredevil season 3? Yeah. I compared it to that. Not a bad episode in and of itself, but why distract from it when it's starting to ramp up? That's how I kind of compared it to.
I'm an absolute brat, and I kind of don't care. My favourite part was Velma nearly getting stabbed at the end. I thought we were kind of over this nonsense.
It was good. I enjoyed it. My favorite part was, you know, when Daphne is dancing and Velma's dancing. I just thought it was I want to make it into a short. I like it. But yeah, Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. For more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, Interview 75 is coming next week. I'm going to hopefully release a teaser trailer maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to try and hype it up a bit because it's amazing. And I think people are going to really enjoy it. So if you completely hated Velma, you're going to love that interview. If you didn't mind Velma, you're going to love that interview. If Velma's your favorite show on planet Earth, you're going to love that interview.
I think it's fair to say that anybody that has ever liked Scooby-Doo will appreciate this next interview.
Yeah, I don't want to be disrespectful to any of the other guests that we've had, right? But in terms of our experience, and I suppose from day one of starting the reviews even, I kind of feel like it's almost the natural end. I kind of feel like it's all built up to that interview.
Well,
so
I think this is actually a perfect time to discuss the interview, and JayBee's going to tell me off now for giving too much away.
No, because I can clip this and use audio clips for the trailer, so it's no problem.
No, that's fine. What I would say,
I could even make it a
this is actually the perfect timing for announcing this a little bit more, because we're doing this on a video reacting to Velma, which is the most controversial one of the most controversial pieces of Scooby media out there.
Most.
Okay. And I'd say this interview calls back to the complete opposite. I'd say that this linked to the most universally loved element of media or something of Scooby.
I would say think about your top 5
Top
Scooby-Doo, top 3 favorite Scooby-Doo projects.
Top 1. Oh yeah.
And it's a big part to do with that. So just that's
mine's changed since doing the interviews, you know. Because I was there then, like top 1, top 1, top 1. But for me, after the Joe Stigter interview, Loch Ness now cannot be rivaled.
We're gonna, if he elects us, of course. I do really want to do a Joe Stigter part 2 because he's done so much. I kind of feel like if he has some free time,
I genuinely cried doing that interview. Sorry,
part 2 that
I'm sidetracking.
So yeah, that was it. I'm probably gonna clip that last bit and put it for a video. So if you've clicked off Tough Luck, you can't escape from us. So yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.